It's another thing of promising news this week, Eric. Yeah, as the COVID numbers continue to plummet, comes word from this top researcher that for most people, there soon may not be a need to wear a mask.
Hallelujah. I'm very tired of this on again, off again with masks.
Some people have had it with masks. The governor's mandate is approaching 2 years, and they're eager for the governor to ease up.
It impedes with breathing, glasses, and you cannot tell who you're looking at anymore.
The governor said the outdoor mask mandate will end on Friday, but he hasn't said when the end to indoor mask requirements will happen. But if the governor were to ask Dr. Ali Mokdad of the University of Washington...
No, there is no need for masks anymore, in my opinion, because 50 to 60% of Americans have been infected and we have high vaccination rate.
For the past 2 years, Dr. Mokdad of the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation has been a strong supporter of masks to drive down the COVID numbers.
And remember, IHME advocated for masks before anybody else, and we would always produce numbers showed if people wear a mask, what would happen. Right now, when we do these scenarios, we're not seeing a big difference in masks. So that's what we are recommending.
You're saying that right now, today, the governor could say no more masks?
In a week, for sure. Not right now. We're still coming down in terms of hospital admissions, but many states like Florida, a mask mandate is needed. California, a mask mandate is not needed. But in a week from now, for our own state, yes, we don't need a mask mandate. And even I will add to that, Keith, we don't need a mask mandate in schools as well.
The state school superintendent, Chris Rakedahl, has been advocating for the statewide mandate to end and leave the mask decision up to local districts.
You're watching KOMO News.
New tonight at 11, prosecutors say a man tried to attack a Bellevue restaurant worker with his meat cleaver after being asked to show proof of COVID-19 vaccine.
It happened just weeks after police say a woman pulled a gun on a Bellevue gas station clerk when she asked the customer to wear a mask. KOMO's Tammy Mutas is live in Bellevue with the latest confrontation for workers. Tammy?
Yeah, Mary, and you know, we are all getting very weary in this pandemic, but prosecutors say expressing that frustration with violence is unacceptable and it is a crime.
I don't think violence is ever the answer.
This is the meat cleaver investigators say Michael Duso raised as he lunged at a bartender after he was asked to leave a Bellevue Applebee's when he couldn't provide proof of vaccination.
I don't think you should be violent because I think that is one of the most ridiculous things you can do. You are not helping people by being violent.
Detectives say when Dusa got outside, he yelled and waved the knife around, and then the bartender asked him to leave. Police say Dusa went after him with a cleaver over his head. Luckily, the worker shut the door before he got hit. These siblings going to Applebee's say it's upsetting when people still don't understand the impact of the pandemic.
We've had family who has gotten sick and who has died from COVID. It's kind of frustrating to see people just come in and not wear a mask and be violent.
Get out the store. Get out the store.
Just a few weeks ago, prosecutors say Angela Nomensen was seen on surveillance video repeatedly refusing to wear a mask inside a gas station. When the clerk forced her outside, she pulled a gun on him. Prosecutors are seeing more reports of these type of crimes.
Maybe it's because people are so close to being at the end of the pandemic that they're getting more frustrated that we're so close and it's not done. But either way, when you pull a meat cleaver on somebody, when you pull a gun at a gas station, and we can prove that case, you're going to get charged for it.
Dusa is now charged with felony assault, and today Nomensen pleaded not guilty to felony harassment.
This is not kindergarten, where if we don't understand the rules, we just throw the blocks anyway. We need to be following the rules.
Well, hi there, Eric, and that has prompted a desperate plea from that 10-year-old's mother. And new tonight, for the first time, we are hearing from the second victim who was hurt, who tells me he's desperate for an arrest.
I walk, I just make sure that there was nobody trying to hit me or, hurt me.
He's felt that way since this moment, the aftermath of a hit and run, captured on camera. 10-year-old Landon Woff and Wendy Ho bloodied and dazed. The impact tossed them onto the sidewalk at 4th and Jackson.
It's still a lot for me. I'm still pretty traumatized and scared every time I walk now because especially if I was on the sidewalk.
Add to that disappointment. It's been 3 weeks and no arrest, and yet Seattle police have confirmed they identified the hit-and-run vehicle.
I definitely feel that justice wasn't served, and I'm pretty hurt by that.
You know, anyone on that street that day could have the key they're looking for, and I'm just really hoping, like, even if you don't think it is enough or just the slightest bit of information, just call it in. Like, you could literally be the key to make this arrest.
Sierra was with her son in the crosswalk. 1 minute walking, the next, Landon was on the hood of the car. And new tonight, according to the police report, we've learned the driver was going the wrong way on 4th before impact at Jackson Street.
My face got hit on the windshield and I bounced back and landed on my tailbone.
Multiple stitches to his face, head, and leg. The Seattle brain researcher thankful physically he's okay. And he too has a plea to the driver.
Be a better person. I really hope that you will think more carefully and, you know, come forward.
Okay.
When you first meet Katie Schauber, you wouldn't think she needs regular appointments with a speech therapist. But Katie can go from eloquent
What is it called?
to wordless.
My husband asked me a question, and I couldn't answer it. I started having trouble speaking. So I had words in my head, and I couldn't say them out loud.
That first bout with speechlessness came when Katie returned to work after being sick with COVID-19. Her daughter had it first, then her husband, who had flu-like symptoms.
For me, it was the same until it wasn't.
Before COVID, Katie was an avid runner with no underlying conditions. With 4 half marathons and many other races behind her, she suddenly couldn't run at all. She had brain fog, a racing heart. Her cough came back. She had blood clotting issues. Months passed and multiple doctors sent her home before she was finally able to put a name to it: long COVID.
There's a lot of us out there who survived, but surviving doesn't mean thriving.
UW Medicine now has a clinic that specializes in long COVID, seeing 150 new patients every month. The American Academy of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation is tracking it across the country.
They've estimated that there are 20 million Americans that have long COVID symptoms. So we're really just seeing the tip of the iceberg here, and we know that there's many, many patients out there who are still struggling.
It's normal for a patient to have a dozen lingering symptoms, including heart palpitations, poor memory, anxiety, depression, and difficulty with daily activities. It's possible that underlying diabetes plays a role in some patients, but there is no known cause or cure.
We've had a lot of success in managing people's symptoms, but we don't yet have that one single treatment.
You think that's coming, though?
I do. I've been very optimistic with the research that I've seen so far.
Katie is also optimistic. She hopes to return to running, but she can embrace a life with a slower pace, too.
Every time that I don't hit a milestone or don't get better, then it's a letdown, right? So to me, I'm happy I'm here. I'm happy I'm here for my daughter, my husband, and my family.
Molly Shen, KOMO News.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.